everybody. Welcome back to another Rory pop-up. Yes, I have been popping up for the past week or so, hadn't I? I know. I am going to get back settled into the read. I promise you. Don't know what happened. Seems like something is coming up every day. I have been so busy and I haven't been able to do all of my due diligence and be on these internet streets and do a full on read as well. So y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is when you're juggling everything. But I am going to get back on track. I promise you. I'll probably do another pop up tomorrow, but Monday I am going to do the read and I'm going to do all of my shout outs. I promise. All right, y'all, let's get started because listen, we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to kiki about. We got a lot to be messy about because y'all know it is jumping off over across that pond ever since Andrew came out with his statement. It was nothing but a news dump, a Friday news dump. And it was nothing new. But let me tell you, they are trying to sell it as something new. And of course, they have full on support when it comes to all of that media over there, including the BBC. I mean, they are peddling the propaganda just like the other rags. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between the BBC or the Daily Express. You can't because they are all in lockstep with that family over there. But I'm going to put this up, and this is what I'm talking about. This particular squatty posted about exactly what I'm saying. It says at BBC News, once again engaging in propaganda. Giving up is not the same as not using. Where is the lie? Where is it? But they don't want you to know where the lie is because they are telling the lie. Look at their headline. It says Prince Andrew gives up royal titles, including Duke of York, after discussion with King. Now, they know that's a lie. They know it's a lie. But they are feeding the public exactly what that family wants fed to them. They are gaslighting the public for that family. They are doing their PR work. The BBC, the one who is supposed to be the most respected news organization in the UK, is doing the bidding of the royal family. Now let that wash over you. These people, the BBC is not supposed to be like the Daily Express or the Daily Fail or the Daily Mirror or any of those other rags over there. But when it's time to carry the water, the BBC even carries the water for that family. So people need to be aware of that because that's exactly what they're doing right here. And it is disgraceful. It is absolutely disgraceful. And it's malpractice. It is journalistic malpractice. I mean, textbook journalistic malpractice. You can't make this stuff up. I'm just saying. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this up, and this is from the Republic. And if you know anything about the Republic as a group, it is staunchly against the monarchy. And they would love to see a referendum about abolishing the monarchy. So I'm not surprised that they are coming in hard and fast in this situation. This is what they say. Andrew is still eighth in line to the throne. Andrew is still a prince. Andrew still gets to live in Royal Lodge. Andrew has still not been questioned by the Met Police. Now that's a big one. I mean, never a word spoken to him about it. I remember when this first started ramping up, and this was even back before J.E. unalived himself. And the Met Police chief, I think her name was Cressida Dick, she came out and said flat out that they was not going to question Andrew. Not at all. And before we knew it, she was getting a CBE or OBD or ABCDEFG, one of those medals. She was. I mean, right after that. And then this is the same Cressida Dix who put Meghan's name instead of Kitty Cat's name when Kitty Cat attended that vigil for, the young woman that was slain by the cop. I think her name was Sarah Everard. Yes. And instead of putting Kitty's name, they put Meghan's name on the police report. Y'all remember that? Yes, it was during, the C word, that pandemic during that time, and no one was supposed to be out. Everybody was breaking the C word restrictions, which I think was that no more than 2 or 3 people are together. So I think this is why it was, breaking restrictions, and you were required to wear a mask. Well, Kitty Cat showed up there, which broke the restrictions. Nobody was supposed to be there. It was a lot of people were arrested. Not Kitty Cat. She was not arrested, and she showed up without a mask so everyone would know it was her. And I'm going to say this. This is when I really started to understand who Kate was, who she really was in her core. Kitty is someone who is willing to do anything, and use anybody to maintain her status and her popularity. This is who Kitty Cat is. It is nothing. When I tell you it's nothing that she won't do, it's nothing she won't do, because when you will use a dead young woman as a way to garner good PR, you are willing to do anything. And since this happened, Kitty and Peggy has not done anything to change my opinion of them. They have gone on time after time after time since this happened to use other people's pain, other people's tragedy for their PR stunts. But I digress. This squatty goes on and finishes up and says, removing some pointless titles simply isn't enough. True, true. But I think that's pretty much all we gonna get, because that family, all of the dirt, all of the law breaking, all of the shadiness, they are never held responsible. Ever, ever. No accountability. Ever. I'm just saying. Now I'm gonna put this up, and unlike the BBC, NBC, and CNN is reporting it correctly. This squatty posted about it and said NBC and CNN are reporting correctly. Prince Andrew is still the Duke of York. He has only agreed to stop using the title. Basically, if Andrew had a son, the title would pass to his sons. The daughters are still Princess of York. And that right there, I have saw people saying, what's going to happen to their titles? And nothing is going to happen to their titles. They're still going to be Princess of York. Princess Eugenie of York, Princess Beatrice of York is still going to remain the same, because they are blood-born princesses. They are. And Andrew, if he really gave up his title of Duke of York, he still would be Prince Andrew. He is a blood-born prince. It's ridiculous that people act like they don't understand things. And it's just that simple. Beatrice and Eugenie are still going to be Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice, like I was saying. I mean, it's ridiculous. And of course, not surprising, William would be talking about something as ridiculous as this because he's out here leaking and planning stories and saying that yes, he wants to take away Beatrice and Eugenie's titles. I kid you not. I kid you not. He is out here with this BS. And not only that, he wants to take away Harry and Meghan's titles and Archie's and Lilibeth's titles. I kid you not. I kid you not. Talking about he's going to write a whole new page when he becomes king. Well, my whole thing is, can you be retroactive in your patent, or does it have to be from present forward? Now, if anybody in the comments know the answer to that, please put it in the comments because it sounds really stupid to me that you can have a retroactive patent, saying that you're gonna strip people of their titles just because you want to, and you're doing it retroactively. That doesn't make sense to me. But y'all let me know if that is something possible because listen, we got some smart people in this community, in this tribe, and I'm sure it's someone who knows. I don't know. But he's out here really looking stupid. And this particular squatter is posting about it. And this is where they got it from. This squatty posted a little excerpt from the Substack of Tom Thumbhead Sykes. And he is writing about all of what's going on. And they posted it, and this is what it said. But William, I'm told, isn't finished. When he ascends to the throne, I'm told that he will issue new letters of patents as royal executive order are known to strip Andrew and Harry, Archie, Lilibeth, Eugenie, and Beatrice of their HRH and princely titles. I don't believe he can do that. I don't. But y'all tell me if he can. But all I can say is, who cares? At this point, if it would let them leave Harry and Meghan alone, I would applaud it because it's not going to change anything except to make Harry and Meghan more popular, more sympathetic, more everything, because people are really going to see who this person is. The mask will be fully down. Everyone will see the monster behind it. So all I can say is help yourself. Come on with it. Because at the end of the day, if it means that you will leave Harry and Meghan alone and let them live their lives freely and without your nonsense and the nonsense of those papers over there and all of those horrible flying monkeys and all those nasty people, all I can say is yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure Harry and Meghan would say the same thing because let's not forget, Harry and Meghan offered their titles up before. They just wanted rid of them people. They did. But yet and still, they were refused. All I can say is go for it, William. Go for it. And let everyone see exactly who the person is behind the mask. That's all I'm saying. And the squatty that posted this excerpt from Tom Thumbhead Sykes said this from Tom Sykes' new Substack. I'll post screenshots later, but this part in particular made me chuckle. William is briefing furiously that he was behind Andrew's recent humiliation, and he added in this bit that when he's king, he's going to not only strip Andrew and his daughters of their princely titles, but also Harry and his two children. Laugh out loud. Oh, please do. Threaten us with a good time. Exactly. Exactly. Threaten us with a good time. Because at the end of the day, well, I can't speak for every squatty, but I'm going to speak for myself. I don't care. I really don't. All I care about is Harry and Meghan's happiness. And if this makes them satisfied enough to leave Harry and Meghan alone, which I got a feeling is absolutely too much to hope for. Take those titles, take them, and stick them as far up your arse as you can get them. I mean, so far that your colon is involved in the transaction because we don't care. We don't care. I mean, just shut up about it. I am just so sick of hearing about them and these titles. Nobody cares. Harry and Meghan's fans do not care. Anybody out there listening, we do not care. We don't. We just want you to shut up already. Our dream as squatties is never having to speak or utter your names again. We could live the rest of our lives never seeing Willie and Kitty and any of anyone from over there on that island nation. We are done with it. And if I'm telling you, if taking those titles or the golden ticket to that, we'll absolutely take it. We'll take it. We are sick of you. We're sick of Kitty. We're sick of Willie. We're sick of Charles and his horse. We are sick of all of it. All we want to do is be a normal fandom. Just see what our faves are doing. Enjoy as ever. Enjoy with love Meghan. Enjoy what Harry is doing when he goes on his trip. That's all. That's all we want. We don't want to have anything to do with you. I could live the rest of my life and never see that bald head again and that hay wiglet. I could. So do us all a favor. Take the titles and shut the F up. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up, and this is a response to a post from Channel 4. And the post from Channel 4 says Prince William particularly is driven to remove Prince Andrew's royal titles. Royal historian Kate Williams tells this person, I'm not even going to try to pronounce their name because I will mangle it. And it says, she says the heir to the throne is very unhappy about what's going on. I guess that's what she's saying. But the squatty that reposted this, this response to this particular post said, what a load of BS. William and Kate are close to Andrew and was never uncomfortable being seen with him publicly, even after the allegations. This was them driving together in 2023. They also just recently laid a red carpet and a banquet for another pedo from the White House. Get the F out of here. Exactly. They are such hypocrites because we just saw them have a state visit with someone who is involved with this whole situation with JE, will not release the files from the JE files from the federal government here because he is, allegedly in there, and he has been adjudicated in court to be someone who has SA'd a woman. And it's a lot of accusations out there of what he has done. But was this Kate right here? Was this her? She didn't seem like she was uncomfortable in his presence at all. The level of hypocrisy, the level of nonsense that these people want you to choke down, the gaslighting. This was her at the banquet with someone who has 34 felonies. And it is all due to him buying off a porn star. So miss me, Kitty, miss me, Willie. Is this you licking boots? It looks like you down on your knees licking boots. I'm just saying. But yet and still, somehow, they want to try to pretend like they are taking the high road in life. Get out of here. Y'all cloaked for Andrew. That whole family did. The Queen did. All of y'all did. And now that the SHIT has hit the fan, everybody wants to run and scatter. No, you don't get to get off like that. You don't get to gaslight people into believing that somehow you have always felt this way. We see you. That's why I said earlier, let the mask slip. Let it slip on off and let people see exactly who this family is. And if they hadn't figured it out by now, they will figure it out because everything that is not exposed will be exposed. These people are going to be the detriment of this institution because they're so subpar, they're so mediocre, and they're so phony. They are. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. This squatty is saying exactly what I just got through saying. They said this entire family has helped cover for this man. Although now the heir tries to sell the opposite. Don't forget that he loves driving for his uncle and that he even preferred to have a man accused of aping minors by his side instead of his own brother when the Queen died. Exactly. Exactly. Because remember, they all flew up there to Balmoral where the Queen was when she passed away. Andrew was on the plane. Harry had to make his way on his own. He preferred Andrew at every turn. He didn't have no problems there. But all of a sudden now, he's so self-righteous. Like I said, when he ascends to the throne, he is going to expose himself for who he is. And I love that for him. I really do. He is going to be a pariah because at the end of the day, we will be watching. I'm just saying. And this squatty said, father and son team fighting over who gets credit for Prince Andrew's statement. Jesus Christ, that family is out of touch. Whoever wants to take credit, take it. But guess what? Too late. The woman is dead. She's not even here to feel a scintilla of justice. Where is the lie? This is so sad that this woman has had to suffer, and these two are scrambling, trying to get positive PR out of it. Just what I said earlier. This is who these people are. They don't care about your tragedy. They don't care about what you've been through. It's all about them. Always. Always. And this squatty came up under it and said, and that bus crash, then so-called aliving when she only had 4 days to live anyway because of kidney failure, tells us all we need to know. Evil enterprise. Y'all remember she came on and did a video saying that she only had 4 days to live because she had had an accident. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, it's all a little sus because she had wrote, I think 2 or 3 years prior that she would never unalive herself. And I know people can change, and people who have unaliving ideations, they come, they go. And so I don't know if this has anything to do with that evil empire or not, but it is all sus that she would have an accident to the point where she only had 4 days to live, and then she go ahead and unalive herself. There's a lot going on there, but I did see her siblings do an interview, and they seem perfectly happy with what has happened, what has transpired. They don't seem that they have any questions. They don't feel, well, they didn't give any kind of indication that they might be suspicious of how and what became of their sister. So that's the only reason why I'm like, I don't know, because usually it's always the family who's saying, this is not right. I don't know what's going on here. My sister would never do something like this. But I didn't get none of that from them in this interview. So I don't know. I don't know. But it's a lot of people on these internet streets are very sus of all of it. Because the timing, it seems like the timing always works out in favor of that family, doesn't it? It really does. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. And this particular squatty made such a great point. They did. Look at this. It says, when is King Charles going to lose his titles? I mean, he's associated with more pedos than his brother. Exactly. Exactly. Because let's not forget that Jimmy Savile, that he preyed on special needs children. He did. He would go by their group home or whatever the institution that they were in and pick them up and abuse them. And he did this for years and years and years. And Charles was his friend. And also, let's not forget the pedo priest here. Yes, he did all manners of horrible things to young boys. And Lord Mountbatten, he also too was a pedo, and he did very, very horrible things to young boys as well. And he was Charles's great uncle and his mentor. Yeah, so when is Charles going to lose his titles? Because at the end of the day, this is a family who loves their pedos. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up because this particular squatty is dropping nothing but truth bombs. Let me tell you. They say no amount of Prince Andrew is damaging the royal family is going to change the fact that the royal family has been a damaged good for a long time. Where is the lie? Where is it? They have been damaged ever since Diana. And their latest treatment of Harry has pretty much damaged them to no return. These people have been exposed. They have. They're not special people. They're not superior to anyone. They are mediocre at best, subpar at the most. And they have been exposed for that. And because of that, they're circling the drain. It's no mystique to this family anymore. It is no glamour to this family anymore. It is nothing but grifting and lying. I mean, that's it. That's it. And whoever wants to pretend like it's anything different is living on Fantasy Island, and Tattoo is in the tower saying, the plane, the plane, because these people are crazy. I'm just saying. And speaking of crazy, let me put this up. This was in the Time talking about Meghan attending this dinner with Emma Greed. I got schooled about how to pronounce her name. So it's supposedly pronounced as Greed. So yes, they want to talk about this dinner because at the end of the day, Meghan is everything that their future queen is not. And of course, they have to hate on her on every turn. This is what the Telegraph put up. It says a women's only vegan banquet attended by the Duchess of Sussex with a lesson in self-congratulatory vain adoration. And this is nothing but sour grapes. This is all it is. Meghan is everything that Kate is not. And they cannot stand it. They're constantly taking these cheap shots. This is what I'm saying. Well, this is what I was saying earlier. If it means that they will leave Meghan alone, they'll leave Harry alone to live their lives in peace, take the titles, take them and shut up. Because at the end of the day, all of this hating from outside of the club is really annoying. And it is all those publications over there. I mean, it has given that whole country such a black eye the way these people have behaved. Before all of this, I looked at the UK as some place that I would want to go. It was on my bucket list. To be honest, I wanted to go to the UK. My two brothers and their families had gone to the UK. They enjoyed themselves. They said it's such a beautiful country. Everyone is so nice. I have always wanted to go, and I have heard Byron on his podcast talk about what a wonderful time he had. So it was always on my bucket list. But instead of this family bringing in tourists at this point, they are repelling tourists at this point. People don't want to go because of how they have behaved and that press over there. I mean, it has really put a black mark on the whole of Great Britain. It really, really has. And it's sad. It's sad. It's my understanding that tourism in the UK is down overall a lot because of this. And, I live in a country where tourism is down as well. People don't want to come to a place where they don't feel welcome, they don't feel happy, they don't, you can set the mood. The top of the food chain sets the mood for what people think of your country. And they're not doing a good job. They are not doing a good job. They keep on bungling it up because the more they attack Meghan, the more it just leaves a bad taste in the mouth of international people who would visit Great Britain. You see how they have pretty much lost the Commonwealth. They have. The Commonwealth countries don't really want to have anything to do with them. They can't even have the Commonwealth Games anymore because it just doesn't have the same feeling. It just does not have the same vibe. The mask has slipped and we see the monster behind it. I'm just saying. And the Times are not the only rag that wrote a story like this. The Fair wrote one. The Daily Express wrote one. They are so jealous. They are so jealous because, like I was saying earlier, Meghan is that girl and they cannot handle it. They constantly are trying to smear her. And I'll say this, it is more on them than it is Meghan. It's really starting to be a really bad look. I mean, people are saying, how in the world can this woman just be criticized by everything she does? I mean, she breathes air in, they criticize her. She breathes air out, they criticize her for that as well. And everybody are starting to really get sus about all this nonsense that they are spewing on Meghan for just existing. And this particular squatty said the financially independent table. Yes, Kitty Cat could not sit at that table. She could. Everybody there had their own money, had their own business, made their own way. We all know the only way that Kitty made was the honeypot way. So no, she couldn't sit there. And so they big mad about that. They have a queen to be who is just a shadow of a human being. I mean, you could unzip her skin and nothing is inside. And they mad about that. It says a table with only inspirational and accomplished women. The kind of table that mumbling women will never be invited to, no matter which country the table is in. Where is the lie? Anyway, Meghan is in her chapter of joy, and exactly. And so what? So what? I saw this story. They were talking about Meghan having a bag. It had DS on it. And somehow they was feeling some kind of way because it was for the Duchess of Sussex. So what? So what? Just like Meghan is in her chapter of joy, I'm in my so what era. I am. So what? So what if she had a bag that had DS on it? So what? What you gonna do about it? She is the Duchess of Sussex. Why shouldn't she use her name? I mean, these people, they're so jealous. They want to try to restrict Meghan from using stuff that is hers. I mean, they talk about her jewelry. Why she wearing $300,000 worth of jewelry? Why? Because she can. So what? What is it to you that you have to buy a piece of that jewelry? And it's just ridiculous. I was on X, formerly known as Twitter, and my timeline was just filled with so many bots talking all sorts of nonsense about Meghan. I mean, it was a AI video with Meghan fake belly slipping out of her dress. They actually took the time to make an AI video of that. This is who these people are. And I'm telling you, I went off on a lot of them because I was just feeling my so what era today. So what? So what if Meghan wants to use her titles? Because the key word in that sentence is her titles. So what if she wants to wear $300,000 worth of jewelry? I was saying that she's not relatable because she is wearing $300,000 worth of jewelry. When did Meghan say she wanted to be relatable? When did Meghan said that her goal was to be relatable? I don't remember her saying that. Meghan can wear whatever she can afford, just like anybody else. I mean, so what? So what? I mean, these people. And then it was this woman. They twins, and they look like they're females, but they look like men. The Sitley twins, and they don't do nothing but talk crap about Meghan. And I never ever, address them as women because I address them for what they look like. They look like two dudes to me. And she's up there talking about Meghan bought this award that she just won for her podcast. Yes, this is what she's saying. And of course, I had to go in and remind her that none of this was her business. And while she's asking how much it costs for Meghan to buy this award, I want to know how much it costs for her to actually look like a woman instead of a dude. Her and her twin brother, who is a female supposedly too, are so nasty. They are. They are the nastiest two so-called women. I'm going to put some hashtags around that because they say they women, but if you go by looks, they look like dudes to me. But I digress. Also, Little Tooth, Big Tooth, she been out here talking her nonsense and would not be able to pay her rent if it weren't for Meghan. Would not have them teeth in her mouth if it weren't for Meghan. Yeah, so I am just sick of all of them. It has been a day. It has been a day really going back and forth with all of these ugly old hags, all of the derangers, all of the toadies, all of the trolls. I'm telling you, I have even gone back and forth with some flying monkeys. Yes, them too. And let's not forget the smelly skanks because they have been out in force because every time Meghan is absolutely out here looking the part of the boss lady, they cannot handle it. They can't. And here they come, all of them and all of Kensington Palace's bots. They have been out in droves. I can't even tell you how many I have had to block today. Block on Twitter, block on TikTok. I mean, they are really, really running scared over there because How can you just go out and put out all these bots if you're so secure? Why do you need all these lies out here in these internet streets if you're so secure? If you say you are who you say you are, you should be able to stand on your own. Why are you enlisting all of these bots to tell lies, all of these flying monkeys to tell lies, all of these ugly old hags to tell lies? Because I believe that this is my belief. I believe they paid them as well. I really do. Yes, why are you doing all this if you so secure? And I'm gonna put this up. This squatty said they asked her to leave the island and go back to America, which she did. So why are they so adamant to see her fail? Why do they care about her business? And what is their interest? Exactly. Why do you care so much? Why are you so triggered? Why is her success such a threat to you? It has nothing to do with you. Y'all are on two different paths. Harry and Meghan is on a total different path than Willie and Kitty. Why do you feel so threatened that you spend all of that money that you get from the taxpayer on bots? Because that's exactly what you're doing. Anybody can see that. All you got to do is jump on these internet streets and they're all over the place. Boosting up Kitty, boosting up Willie. They're even attacking the horse. They are. They're attacking the horse. Not only just Harry and Meghan, the horse too. So that right there tells you that it's coming from Kensington Palace. Yeah, they spending a lot of money here lately. They're feeling really insecure. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. I'm on one, y'all. They make me mad. Like I said, leave Harry and Meghan alone. Take your titles and jam them up your tattoo tea and leave them alone. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all a little later. Bye.